representative.
Yeah.
Like, so Kale Soze mentioned this to me. One of the two things, I don't remember which of the two, but it kind of led me not to touch it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I made this abundantly clear. This is stated 4 times, are you sure? Maybe even 5. And I explicitly said, so I can move this slider to 50% and I'm okay with that? And the statement was, yes, go ahead. And if you get any flack, I made that call. I'll take the hit. Let's actually circle back a little bit and even reference one other thing that was a clarifying. This is an important point. Is that when I looked at the sliders, I said, oh, I can't adjust the time. And that's where we had the clarifying point that I control the fine and Andy controls the time. Now, this is a very important part here where, because she reneges on this later.
Okay. Okay.
So, in parentheses, clear understanding that both of us not only have control, but have different sets of controls under our separate purviews. Right?
Okay.
Okay. So I then made the state announcement about reducing it down by 50%.
Yeah, I've got a picture of that one.
I then got a phone call after everyone was cheering that I needed to change it back. And the claim was that she didn't know it affected the state. And she thought it was only the county. Now do you see what I mean? Why that previous point was important?
Yeah. I think at this point, I mean, I don't know if you want this in the article, but you asked if it was an order or...
My belief is that because I had this thought, this is going to fuck Blaine County, and I think she got phone calls that was like, oh my God, our budget is fucked. Think about it.
Yeah.
Right? We can afford that.
Yeah.
Blaine couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't affect the state, but was on a county level, which is a lie, right?
Right.
Either it was a lie or the previous conversation was had in bad faith. There's no way you say the previous statements and then all of a sudden it changes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, then he stated you should have a chat with Andy about it. And you should have a chat with the previous other mayor before making the decision. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll have a chat with her. She said, well, can you change it back now? And I said, yeah, I'll look into it. And I didn't give her a straight answer to it because I already at this stage knew some fishiness was happening. Like, you're going to have me make this public announcement, get everyone hyped up, and then you're like, change it back. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like... And like, and we'll have a fucking chat with her, but I have my opinion. She can change she can change her sit. I could change mine. We can parlay about it. This is at this stage, it's not within her purview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, thank you for your opinion, but not your place. Right. At the end of the day. And she said, well, I'm strongly recommending you do it. And I said, look, I'll look into it. And I got to go to a funeral.
Yep.
Then was the tweets about from Ventura, which we don't have to reference, noting that a cop's life is now worth one across. I then went and checked the MDT because I myself was shocked, right? That anyone would know, because I didn't expect the MDT to take immediate effect.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to take a look at what it was before and what it looked at afterwards so it could be reviewed.
Right.
And that is when I noticed that the charges for Marshall related stuff and like assaulting a cop with a deadly weapon had inflated post slider going to 50%. In other words, because I did not do as she asked or suggested, she tried to play sneaky and go and like update the fines and times.
Okay.
And so now I'm like, okay, so I then got, either she called me or I called her. I don't remember which of the two. And she said that I'm getting, I'm really like, would you to put it back, because I'm getting multiple complaints from officers saying an officer's life is now worth one across. So now it's being framed that this slider, it's not about the fines, it's about the slider's effect on the cost of a cop dying. So under pressure from social media and the guy who tweeted, and this is a 10 minutes only, have only gone by, that all of a sudden this is multiple complaints, right? No, social media stirring, right? That's all it was. It's like, oh yeah, free cop, we can kill cops. Like what motherfucker, like ain't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like people post God knows what.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of now being reframed about cops dying when it's about fines across the board. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I asked explicitly, did you change the fines and times? At which point she admitted that she changed them to go in line with things. And she said, well, I do have control of, you know, fines and times. So now the story has changed. You with me?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
They're within the purview of the mayors, but then she says she has control of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I further stated, then what is the point of the slider if you're just going to change everything anyways? Because then, ipso facto, we never actually had control of it despite your public statement. Which intent was to defer your fuck up to us. Right?
Yeah.
I'm around. Andy ain't even around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't going, no one gonna notice. And so I asked that question, and it's like, okay, well, a week now the story is changing. Well, we have control. And she said, well, I need you to go and, you know, chat with everyone before you make those decisions.
Right.
So now it's like, I'm not talking to people. Motherfucker, I don't need to. Right? Like, I can go put some legislation down. That, like, don't tell me how to do my fucking job. Like, I've had enough of that. Right? When you can't even fucking get... Oh, well, let me not even get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, fucking comes around every couple days, like, you know, fucking doing God knows what. Anyways, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I make the statement, listen, let's go talk to the officers after the funeral, and then based on that, we'll readjust. And I ask, can you put it back to where it was? So if we decide to put them back, the fines and times aren't going to be fucked up. Otherwise, you know, they're going to be scuffed. And she said, I'd rather you change it now. I said, and based on the way she was saying it, I'm like, are you asking a demand? Are you demanding this? Or are you asking? right? And after multiple times, she finally landed on, this is an order. I said, are you ordering me to do this? And she said yes.
Okay.
Which is when I followed up with, do you use any logic when you're making your decisions? After which point she flipped out. Which, as you can see from, the series of events, why that statement was made. And let's not even reference the one that we had over here where...
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. There's another bit that she said during this phone call is she threatened to file an injunction that allowed Blaine County to double their fines.
Does she know what the definition of bias is? Is she awake right now? I would like to ask.
No. No, listen. I know where you're thinking. Trust me.
Jesus Christ, man.
So I forgot that bit. She threatened to file an injunction so that Blaine County would do the math and double the fines. Now you tell me, am I right or wrong about this?
Yeah.
So in other words, no, you're concerned Blaine County's not going to get their money while they're pulling people from down here and making the money. And now, oh my God, poor BCSO, right? Need to file an injunction. Who is she working for? You get what I'm saying? What is it with this obsessant concern about everything being Blaine County? And that's kind of
Are they friends?
They're like in bed together. That's the only way you can put it.
They're
right?
fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, actually?
Probably.
Well, I
Or
mean,
not probably, are they?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of nepotistic behavior. I mean, but it's
Here's the thing,
Yeah.
if you don't mind me saying, if you can show a pattern of requirements for you as the Los Santos mayor that have not been also required of the...
Oh, we already have that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, from my understanding, the justices were supposed to be like a panel, right? And somehow everyone else kind of fell by the wayside and she's the only one doing all of this. Isn't there anything that can be done? Is there anything that can be done to kind of say this person needs to be checked?
Yes, we had that's in effect. Earlier this morning, we had a conversation with Judge Bailey. We didn't want to go too deep to conflict him, but that is something we are looking into. How do you feel about this, Ava? You're hearing this for the first time, I think, right? Oh, you were here yesterday too, but
I'm hearing the details more now.
Yeah.
The reality of the situation is any time you have somebody who has absolute power, this kind of thing is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's important to be able to have a tangible trail of what Michael said, bias. You have to have that because that is going to work in your favor, not necessarily with her, but with the public. It's important for people to know what's going on because the court of public opinion is very powerful.
Sure it is.
And when people, do you remember at the hospital, you took the opportunity when Saint was there to kind of point out someone's involvement or lack of involvement in something? I can't remember exactly what it was. You told him that somebody wasn't involved or wasn't responsible for twats or something like that. That is what I'm talking about. People's perception of a situation doesn't have to be accurate for them to act on it. So if you get out there and you put the actual information in their hand and they can see where they're actually getting screwed over, like who's doing it, you are a very easy scapegoat. It's very easy because there are people who already feel they're like applying like max traits to you, and that's just natural. It comes with being a politician. They're not going to understand something, so they're going to not like it, and they're going to say, well, it's your fault.
Yep.
So you have to, I've said this before, you have to get in front of it when people aren't playing fair, you can't be the one still trying to play fair because you're going
I
to get
agree.
screwed in the end.
Yeah,
And I think that's kind of yeah, and I think we've kind of hit that precipice.
Yeah.
Which is and the good thing is, like, Michael and myself have talked a lot about this many weeks back when we started smelling the shit, is that we started documenting everything. And what's crazy is it's not just us that noticed it. Moose Knuckles, and then Roman, like, and who knows who else started documenting this stuff, because without us even talking, we noticed like crazy shit was happening, and we're like, what the fuck is this?
They are, I don't know if you, Roman is my dad. Roman and Grace are my parents, right?
Oh,
they are literally going after Justice Angel has made it known apparently to someone that she wants Roman's bar license.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, who?
The reason why I was upset yesterday, huh?
Who?
What?
No, who wants his bar license?
She does.
Angel?
Because he stirs up too much shit. He points out things that are not right and that are corrupt all the time. And so now what it is okay, I'm telling you, from that situation happened yesterday. I have known
Chat, I don't remember every detail.
Clark Mason for a long time. Flash. I've known him for many years. That particular day, I had been shot, and my parents were going to take me from me and just chill out and relax for the day. Then they get a cell rep. The police call them down there. This is who's here. He needs representation. They tell them it's Clark. We get there, down the cells. I look at the guy. That's not Clark. At least not Clark as I know him, unless he had plastic surgery or something. I don't know. But I am there as a civilian, so I'm not all up in their business.
I got bits and pieces. I might have been cooked.
And then eventually the police figured out, I don't know if it's after they fingerprinted or something, but they figured out it wasn't Clark. So what they're trying to do now is they're trying to somehow make either one or both of my parents responsible for not telling them that he wasn't Clark. Like, they're trying to say that they knew and they didn't report that information. You arrested You arrested Clark. And you arrested somebody now that claimed he was Clark and arrested him, got him to the cells and all of this, and you didn't know that it wasn't him. But you're now saying that the lawyers that you brought down there and told them who it was, you're now assuming that somehow they knew and didn't tell you, and then filed a complaint, and then that's why the marshals had me go down there yesterday. So they wanted me to basically say, they wanted to know if anything was said on the car ride back out afterwards, if anything was said inside.
What?
Where I was. I told them, well, they were whispering. He never asked me directly, did you know it wasn't Clark? Because I'm a civilian. It doesn't matter if I know. I'm not obligated to tell you shit. So it doesn't matter. But he never asked me directly if I knew it wasn't him. But that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to somehow make them responsible somehow for not relaying the information sooner that the guy in the cell was not Clark Mason.
I am so confused. Like, what? But at face value, why would they not be like, these bozos should have fingerprinted?
Thing is, when we first got there, they were offering a deal of some kind. I heard them because the police were right there talking. This is the police talking. And then he wasn't apparently accepting the deal. If he had accepted it, he would have been sent up. And that would have been the end of it. They would have sent up the wrong person. They would have done that.
My God.
Right? But because things got drawn out a bit, because he was refusing stuff or whatever, they ended up fingerprinting him at some point, I think. And that's how they found out that they didn't match. But that's really what it came down to. You yourself as officers failed to do the most basic thing when it comes to identifying somebody. And now you're trying to blame the lawyers that were there for not telling you that you had somebody in your cells that wasn't the person.
Oh my God.
To me, that's just... I'm confused as to how they don't see how silly this is.
Yeah, this is... What? Oh my God. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Was it LSPD or was it BCSO?
No, BCS. We were up there in Blaine County. That's where
So
went.
they didn't do basic procedure, and let's go blame lawyers.
Yeah.
Do you know who the cops were? The names?
I don't know who.
It wasn't
they
Ventura
were,
by any chance, was it?
I have no idea. Roman would know. Roman would know.
He's got a mustache, kind of light brown, like blondish brown hair.
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to that because at the same time my son was brought in and he was talking shit to Crystal about what he let her do to let him go to. But I was talking to 2 police officers that had the mustaches that you could take off, and I was telling them that one guy you look good without it, and it was fine, but it was a lot of police.
I'm so like. Yeah, I remember Roman kind of, I know you didn't want to say too much originally. Roman told me a little bit of something, but I think I was too cooked. But hearing this out right now, it's kind of like they went so deep down the wrong fucking, path that they're like many levels deep. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could be like, oh, okay, we forgot to fingerprint, but why is your first thought that this is some like conspiracy? And why it was a marshal that interviewed you?
Yeah, that's yesterday.
Where is a marshal coming into this?
It was what's his name? Oh gosh, the judge, former judge. Oh,
Grayson.
Grayson, yes. That's why I was upset because I thought Arthur McGuire, he told me over a week ago that he had been interviewed by the marshals about the situation. Give me a heads up that it might be. And after that much time, I figured maybe they just figured, well, she's a civilian, it doesn't matter. They asked him because he was a paralegal.
Yeah, you need a cough drop. Bro.
Hello?
Yep,
You're good.
Hi.
Sound good, yeah.
So he saw me at the event, the press conference yesterday, and said I wanted to talk to you when you're done. So then I figured out, okay, he's asking me to come down to the marshals. I knew this is probably what it was about. I got upset because I figured these motherfuckers, they're going to use Grayson because he and I were friends back in the day and we're friendly now. So they're going to try to maybe use that to kind of maybe slip me up to fuck over my parents, one or both. And that made me so angry. It's like, it's not my job to help you prove your case against somebody. Why would you do that? And it's not my job to tell you whether somebody that you have in your cells is that person or not. I'm not a cop. I'm not a lawyer. But they're trying to make them responsible somehow for not telling them.
How would you be able to Oh my God.
How would what?
I'm just so confused. It's like...
How would I be able to verify?
No, I'm more confused as to... It's like... there's so much like incest. Like, not incest, but like... Is it? Can you use that word for this? Like, like incestuous? Like, the top has gotten so incestuous with like the different branches, and none of it makes any like sense. You know what I mean?
The thing, yeah, I get you. The thing with this one is they're trying to, from what I'm understanding, is they're trying to kind of make the case or prove the claim that somehow the guy told them that he wasn't really Clark.
No, it's like multiple related bodies intermixing responsibilities.
He was actually Clark, but they didn't know. They don't know Clark, so they have no idea if he is what he is. And he never, from what I understand, he never said one way or another that he was or wasn't. He actually continued to maintain even after they told him about the fingerprints. And I'm talking about the cops are saying that they know that you're not, and he still insisted, yes, I am. What do you mean I'm not? Of course I am.
That is so crazy.
Exactly. So it's like you yourselves as police officers didn't know and don't know until this. So if you're making the excuse for yourselves that it's reasonable somehow that you didn't know who you arrested just based on an ID that anybody could have, why do you now put a higher standard to the attorneys that you brought down here and told who this was, that they somehow should know and tell you something?
The only thing I can think of is a marshal's in there to see if there's a fault of the officers, but that doesn't make any sense because they would have known it was a fault because of the fake ID. So when did marshals come in to review lawyers?
Well,
I don't know.
what
None of it makes any sense
Grayson-
anymore.
What Grayson told me was that he didn't Mirandize me or anything like that. It's just he's just basically confirming that what he already knew is true and just corroborating that with me.
To what end, though?
Well, he said he was investigating a complaint. Roman is thinking that it's a complaint, like a bar complaint.
So marshals handle that now?
I have no idea. The thing is, I don't know if that's actually what's going on. It could be. I honestly don't know. I don't know who there would have filed a complaint against the police about it, because the comment. Okay,
it's
there
just
were comments
odd
made to Roman from. I'm sorry about that. There were comments to Roman by, I guess, through somebody else, through Angel, that she wanted his bar license, and he said something to. There was some conversation or whatever with Grayson, and Grayson kind of overstepped, I guess, because he's not a lawyer anymore, he's not a judge anymore, and Roman kind of pointed that out or said something, and then Grayson got really apparently upset about it and made the comment as well that he needed to be careful or whatever, because he, was going to do whatever he could to, get his license or whatever like that. So I'm like, he's paranoid now, honestly. But maybe being paranoid doesn't mean that you don't have a reason to be paranoid, So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, can we go back to when you said earlier that they want to take your father's bar license? Like,
yeah.
Like, look, I like Roman. I know he can get very moody or whatever, but mood isn't like a reason to. How do you know she's trying to take it? Did she state she will?
Well, he said that she said that. Either
What?
she said that to someone or she said it to him, but that she wanted his bar. He can tell you very clearly what it is, but that's what
my
was
problem
conveyed
with
to
that
me.
is, like, how do I put this? It's you're setting yourself up for acting maliciously.
Yes. Absolutely.
I don't think you have to throw it all common sense and like basic understanding of like fundamentals of like ethics and law in order for any of what we've been talking about today to make any sense.
Yeah.
And I feel
just
like
a confusing situation.
just because there's a vague clause of like the dynamics of the system that was put in place 2 months ago, like all of that is just getting so grossly abused. There's nothing left than like a pulped body. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you say I'm gonna go do this in that sort of position, you're then hunting for anything. It's just you're inherently going to be functioning in bad faith.
Yeah. And Roman and Grace are two of the most present attorneys that are around or have been around, and now it's just like, I don't want to. That's the vibe, but it's like, I understand, but from that point to how it kind of pertains to you, it's really important for you to make sure that you stay in front of every potential, shot that's going to come your way. And it's actually, if you can do it, I don't know if you can, but you have to, if you can, try to walk that line of being transparent and just matter of fact, this is what happened, and not attacking, because
I
if there's
agree.
anything, because you have to be diplomatic as much as you can under the circumstances, because when somebody gets their back up and they get defensive about it, they will take a stance that is on the defense of something else, and then something else will become the point, and then people, unfortunately, their attention span isn't what it needs to be, and they'll get their attention on something else. Well, okay, That's what he's saying, but look what he did. But he did this, this, and that, and I wouldn't have had to do this unless if he didn't do this, this, and that. I
Yep.
don't have to do that to Blaine County because they don't do this, but Nino does this.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why you have to.
You are
that's why you have
spitting
to
right
walk that
now.
line.
That's exactly what it's been. Sorry, real quick. You know,
Yeah.
Señor Chávez, it is Edgar.
how you doing, Edgar? I am
What's
not
up? How you
your
doing?
cousin, Edgar.
Heaven forbid you fucking be a pretend cousin once in a while, but it's
Yeah.
okay. I
Edgar,
found a better
Can
cousin
you
to replace.
call me back in a little bit? I'm just kind of wrapping up a meeting. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. You're spitting, and I think that's kind of why, you know, I really held myself back to be as professional as I could yesterday, because I'm thinking all kinds of demonic thoughts, but it's important to maintain the calm, collected. Here's the evidence. Boom, boom, boom. Here's why. Nice, simple, but you know, this is crazy.
Oh, Rose texted me.
Going back on the thing, did we miss anything in this phone call?
I think I've revised the article pretty well based on the timeline. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Let me read through this. In the conference call today, the mayor of Los Santos addressed recent controversy surrounding... No.
Right. He's just telling me that he's thought about it, and the only person that people that he thinks could have made the complaint were either the officers or the client. And honestly, the client's not going to say anything because he was the one, lying the whole time. So.
That is so fucking insane.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you some other things, Ava, and then I'm going to read this. We had marshals. Okay. So this is how fucked it gets and how bad it's been. I witnessed there's a officer known as Sky Faye. She's a lieutenant in the next shift. She's like, I don't know where her head's at in terms of like this whole like bullshit with LSPD, because there's been a lot of snakes in there doing wild shit.
Okay.
And so
you were right, by the way, Ventura.
Shut up.
He just texted me. That's the officer that was the one that he texted.
Does he have like blackmail on the marshals?
I don't know.
Hold on, what?
I don't know.
Wait, I don't understand. Why would a deputy be getting what? He's a deputy. He might be like a senior deputy at best.
Yeah, he's still texting. Only other officer was Loki.
Oh.
And all the others were new BCSO.
Oh my God. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yo, what is happening?
No idea.
Are they in like okay, I'm gonna give you some context, right? Loki was a part of the LSPD, and he was doing a lot of like dooming, and eventually Tyler caught up on it, between Loki talking about how shit Tyler was and all kinds of other things like that. And he was a part of the crew that was mad. Like, I wanted to do like a toll. Like, people were so sensitive about the idea that I'm going to put a toll booth on the highway like 7 weeks ago at this point, that it turned into Nino, like, pretty much is like the Mussolini of anti-Blaine County, right? Like, shit ain't that deep. But that's how, the feverish all of this was. I want to ban them and this and that. Like, you can't even fucking joke and do, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the LSPD did the LSPD to succeed against Daisy and Peters, right? They're looking to this new future. But some people are doing so fucking hard, right?
Yeah.
That he was among them. Tyler ended up calling him out. Wait, hold on 1 second, because this guy's going to... God damn it. Hold on. Hey, I can't
Nino.
break this chain of thought. Is it? You see something?
Yes, I found the manifesto. It says it's going to happen again. I found it inside the fucking lab. It
Oh
came
my
with a
God.
piece of notepaper. Where can I bring this to you?
Do I stay where you are?
I'm in the lab. I'm at
Stay
the
where
fucking
you are.
entry
Stay
point.
where you are. Stay where you are. Like, we'll pick this up. We gotta go. Come on, mate.
I need to get home and get drunk. Like I care.
Hey, you want to drive the small dick energy mobile?
No. Hang tight. It's about the plague.
Yeah. No. I doubt it.